Welcome to a new edition of the Golf Report here at the Brantford Golf and Country Club. I'm Harold Howe, and we're here with Nicole Vandermade, newly turned golf professional.
Yes.
Tell us about the decision to go pro as opposed to following your studies. You graduated this year from Texas in kinesiology, and was there ever a tipping point?
Not really. I had always wanted to do this ever since I was young, since I pretty much started the game over at Northridge. I'd always wanted to get a scholarship, finish my 4 years, and then turn pro. So that was kind of just the next step. And I played well at Q School last year and got full exempt status on Futures Tour. So I knew this whole year that that was what I was gearing towards. And so when the time came, it was just kind of the next step that I needed to take.
And in this final year of university with the Texas Longhorns, you had a pretty good season, and the team had a good season. Just tell us a little bit about what transpired for the team and yourself.
We played well. We had kind of been the last few years rebuilding. We had a really good core group probably 10 years ago, and then recruiting kind of took a little toll a little bit. Then we got a new coach, and I was her first recruit. So ever since then, we've kind of been rebuilding the team and I was helping to recruit some good players coming in. So we were able to win 2 tournaments this year, and then we finished 13th at the national championship, which was our best result in like 5 or 6 years, I think. And then I was able to win our home tournament, the Betsy Rolls Longhorn Invitational, with both my parents there, so that was really exciting.
And you individually really brought your game up, I think it'd be fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was my senior year, and I just really wanted to play well. My first 3 years I had played pretty decently, but I really wanted to pick it up my last year, and I think I was able to do that, so that was nice.
All right. So that takes you to the pro status. You have Sean Foley, formerly of Burlington, as your coach, and of course everybody knows he's Tiger Woods' man now. What's he telling you need to do, whether it be with your swing, with your putting, mentally, to take it to yet another level?
Well, I just usually send him swings, like I'll video swings at home or on the range, and then I'll send them to him, and he'll kind of critique them, say, do this, work on this, or work on that. But he's just kind of been encouraging and saying, just stick with it. You know, you have the game, and just develop that belief in yourself that the top players on the tour have, and you can take it pretty far.
All right. Now, if there is one negative, it was probably last week at the Manulife up in Waterloo. You didn't qualify. Mm-hmm. And we were talking off camera, and you mentioned that when you slide off the rails, one of the most difficult things is to stop and get back on. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 2 under going into 15, reachable par 5. I was in the middle of the fairway at a 5-iron in, and unfortunately hit the ball a little bit too far to the right and tried to get too cute with my upper with my chip shot, and I ended up making a double, which kind of derailed me, and I didn't really have enough holes to kind of bring it back, and I ended up missing by 2 or 3. So it's just kind of those mental slips that I have to work on, eliminating the big numbers that I've been having recently, and just kind of keeping my confidence level up and believing in myself more. And once I develop that, I think I'll be all right.
Now, so where you're going now is the Futures Tour. Mm-hmm. And how many tournaments could that represent?
Well, it can represent a lot, but I know my schedule, I know how I feel, and I want to peak at the right time. I don't want to get too burned out in the middle of the summer, and I want to peak at Q School. So I'm playing couple weeks on, I'll take a week off, couple weeks on, then a week off, and then kind of lead my way down to Q School. So I have a lot of pro experience by then, so I'll feel comfortable, and hopefully I have some good results and have some money in the bank.
And Q School takes place in Florida in November?
Yeah, around November. First stage, hopefully I'm exempt from that because I made it through last year, so hopefully I'll get right exempt into second stage.
One of the things that amateurs look at are the body types of golfers. On the men's side, our own David Hearn seems to be very typical. 6 foot, lanky, big arc to his swing. You don't have too many really buffed up, like, you know, Rory McIlroy became, or certainly Tiger was, or Villegas. On the women's side, we see Paula Creamer, Michelle Wee, and a few others, the tall variety, and you would fit right in there too. But yet the tour seems to be dominated by the Asian girls, who are, a lot of them are like 5'5", and hardly what you think the penultimate athlete would be. What do you girls think when you look at golfers who excel, and you must wonder, like, why?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the mental game, especially on the women's side, is just believing in yourself. And since the women's game, that we don't play as long of courses, like you don't really need that power that the men do.
But that's your strength.
That is
length.
my strength. So it's kind of for me just using my advantage when I can and taking advantage of par fives or long par fours when I can hit driver or 3-wood off the tee and have a short iron in when a lot of other people have like hybrids or long irons. So it's just learning to take advantage when I can and then using my length sparingly but in a smart way too, because sometimes, a lot of times it's easier to hit 4-iron in the fairway than it is driver. So it's just kind of figuring out when I can and when I can't use my length to an advantage.
Okay. Well, listen, I think you're well on your way, and I know everyone at the club is pulling for you, and good luck in the days ahead, and we'll probably check back with you before Christmas and, see for sure you're on the tour.
All right. Thank you very much.
Harold Howe and Nicole Vandermade giving you the Golf Report.